Hello, welcome to another video from Alberta Bushcrafter. Today is, I'm making good on a promise. I promised that I would show one of my favorite sharpening tools for axes, and this is it. So, before we get going, there are a lot of people who carry a 4-in-1 file, which are nice. I mean, they got a couple rasps on it. It's a straight and round rasp and a straight and round file. Those are okay for axes. They tend to be a little rough and they give it a pretty rough finish. Conversely, you can actually get axe stones from Force, which is a company that makes very expensive axes. I mean, those are $100+ ranging up to $200 for some of them. The same with the Wetterling axes. And the round axe stone for the Force axes is correspondingly expensive. I've seen them in Lee Valley Tools up here in Canada for $50. That to me is a little excessive. So this is my sharpener of choice. We'll get up close here. This is the Lansky Puck. Really nice sharpener. By the way, you'll notice I said Puck with a P. I don't think they could sell it otherwise. So let's see what I really like about this. We'll get up close. This is actually this is a hatchet given to me from my uncle that is very old. It's seen a lot of better days. But I'll show you a few interesting things about the stone and how to use it. These guys all down here have already been worked on. So I've got them out for show. So it'll just be a minute and we'll get a close-up. So this is a close-up of the stone. You can actually see it's got a dark side and a light side. The dark side is a coarse stone and the light side is a medium. But here's what I like about it. Look at the shape. So this is neat because you hold it right, your fingers are not going to ever overlap the edge of the stone, and that's important because with some of the round stones you can actually extend your fingers around the edge while you're sharpening and give yourself a nasty cut. So how you use this, let's take a look here. Is you want to hold it on the bevel and you want to do circular motion like that. Let's see that again. So you make sure you go right to the edge. Now I'm holding this in the air. I'll show you right now a little better way in how I like to sharpen my hatchets and axes. Alright, so I've got a few items here that I use when I'm usually sharpening. This is actually a bottle of Lansky's honing oil. We'll see what that's used for in a moment. But basically what I like to do, take the hatchet. Sometimes you can brace it here, sometimes you don't need to. I like to sight down the actual blade. Like that. And you count the strokes. And sometimes I'll just flip it around and use my better hand, which is my left. And you just keep doing this until all the nicks and everything are out of the blade. Because honestly, if you use your axe or hatchet like a lot of people do, you will have nicks in the blade. So you just keep going over like that. Now this has already been sharpened up a fair bit. One of the things you also want to do, as you saw it in the close-up, that there was actually some metal filings in the stone itself. You want to put a few drops of honing oil. I put about 6. And then rub it in and then quickly wipe it off. It's an old t-shirt of mine, and that actually makes it very very clean. Takes all the filings off. I better do it with this side too. So once you're done with the coarse, you will wind up doing this, by the way, a number of times. Once you're done with the coarse side of the stone, you just go over it again. Like so, with the medium, and that will sharpen it up. You want to be careful you keep it, that's why I sight down the blade, is so I can make sure that the stone is contacting the edge at the right angle of the bevel. If it isn't, you can actually round over the edge with the blade, and that's not good. And with the coarse one, sometimes you can even change the angles of the bevel. One of the other things to do is always check by sighting and always see that the bevels are even. If they're not even, they can throw the axe off. It can throw it out of whack. Yeah, now we need to do this side. So you just keep doing. I am not going to be like some of those videos where they will sit there and sharpen their axe for 15 minutes. That to me is just, well, I got more important things to do, and so do you. Now for field work, this stone gives it a pretty good edge. You can go and get fine stones and files and so on. You could even go as far as, if you want it to look real nice, you can get in the shop and put a buffer on it and polish it up. This one's actually seen a lot of abuse over the probably 40 or 50 years it's been around. There's some pitting and whatever, a bit of rust, but it is now a fairly sharp hatchet. You never need to sharpen a hatchet or axe as well, as sharp as a knife. There are some people think though that a dull axe is okay. I don't hold to that, because the axe does the first part of the work. It's the leading edge of the wedge of the axe. So even with a big fat splitting maul that has a bevel like that on it, like the big huge mauls that are basically a sledgehammer with a blade, there's people that don't worry about sharpening those too much. That's, again, that's not something I like to do. I like to keep a decent edge. Like this will bite into wood, and that's about all it needs to do. You don't need to shave with it like they do in the King of the Klondike or whatever. Whatever floats your boat, though. There are sharpening tools and kits that can get it that sharp if you like. I prefer a razor for that. Anyways, that's the Lansky puck. The only thing I don't like about this is it doesn't come with a case. But other than that, it weighs less than half a pound. If you've got room in your pack, you can spare the weight. This is a decent thing to have with you, because you never know when you need to sharpen a nick out of your axe. Remember, the coarse side, that's for profiling, that's for taking out nicks and so on, and the medium side is for trimming it out or cleaning it up. So that's it for this video. I want to thank you for watching. I'm Dean, this is Alberta Bushcrafter. Take care and good day.